Welcome to the journey of exploring the world of brave individuals who face the vast ocean every day, drifting on the open sea to bring back giant fish with high value for the seafood industry. In today's video, we'll follow the captain of a fishing vessel, dozens of meters long, as he dives deep into dangerous waters to hunt for giant groupers. Known as the king of coral reefs, groupers are massive, incredibly strong, and economically valuable fish. In the early morning, before the sun rises over the thickly clouded horizon, the ship departs the harbor with the engine roaring. The cold ocean breeze seeps through the skin, but no one complains. Every crew member knows a long day lies ahead. Challenging, yet full of hope, on the deck, hundreds of meters of fishing line are carefully prepared. Sharp hooks are firmly baited, usually with small fish or fresh squid. Each hook is an opportunity because just one giant grouper can weigh hundreds of kilograms. The technique for catching groupers is different from other fishing methods. It's a battle of patience, experience, and deep knowledge of the fish's behavior. Groupers typically hide in underwater caves, coral reefs, or natural crevices, with a limited range of movement. But when hungry, they become extremely aggressive, ready to attack anything that moves within sight. Fishermen must pinpoint the exact location, lower the lines to the ocean floor, anchor them with heavy weights, and then wait patiently. Sometimes for hours, even all day. When the first signal appears, a strong tug tightens the line, signaling that a grouper has taken the bait. But the story doesn't end there. Reeling in a giant grouper from depths of hundreds of meters is no easy task. The fish thrashes violently, dives deeper, and uses every trick to escape the hook. The reel must operate continuously, the operator's hands steady, keeping the line taut but not slack. One small mistake, and the hook can slip, the line can break, and all efforts vanish like sea foam. As the fish slowly emerges from the deep blue water, everyone's heart seems to stop for a moment. It's a massive creature, dark brown or deep gray, with large round eyes and strong pectoral fins like adult arms. This is the giant grouper. Some can reach 2 meters long and weigh over 200 kilograms. Fishermen use large nets or metal hooks to lift it onto the deck, sometimes requiring 3 or 4 people working together. The giant grouper is incredibly powerful. Even out of the water, it can thrash violently, shaking the entire deck. The fishermen act quickly, covering the fish's eyes with a wet cloth to calm it or pouring cold water to reduce its body temperature. Once secure, the fish is measured, weighed, and quickly stored in the cold room to preserve freshness. Giant groupers command very high prices in the international market. In some Asian countries like Japan, Hong Kong, and China, grouper is considered a luxury delicacy, often served at upscale banquets and 5-star restaurants. The white, tender, flavorful meat can be prepared in many ways. Steamed with soy sauce, made into congee, or served as sashimi. The head, especially the cheek meat, is rich in collagen and premium fats, highly prized by chefs. For fishermen, catching a giant grouper is not just a material reward, but also a source of professional pride. Some spend their entire lives at sea just to catch a legendary fish, weighing over 300 kilograms, longer than a grown adult, sometimes requiring a crane to lift it onto the boat. Stories like these are often shared during long nights adrift amid waves and storms. Grouper fishing demands not only skill, but also patience and a strong team spirit. Everyone on the boat has a specific role. Someone handles the lines, another monitors the equipment, one records the data, another operates the reel, and someone keeps watch underwater. Together, they form a finely tuned system where no mistakes are allowed. However, the dangers of this profession should never be underestimated. Once, while hauling in a catch, a huge wave crashed over the deck, making it slippery, and nearly swept a fisherman overboard. Sometimes, before the grouper can be pulled up, a shark bites off half its body. These moments are both terrifying and bonding, as only through such challenges do fishermen truly understand the value of their work. Out in the vast ocean, No Wi-Fi, no cell signal. There are only the sounds of engines roaring, waves crashing, and the shouts of passionate men. For them, this is a unique world where they feel free, strong, and true to themselves. The boat keeps moving forward. The reel is ready, bait securely fastened to the hook. The sun begins to rise, casting a golden glow over the blue sea. On deck, amid stories of giant groupers, laughter rings out continuously. Once, the entire crew spent a full hour hauling a single fish on board. Exhausted, the joy was unstoppable. For these grouper hunters, the ocean is more than a workplace. It's part of their very being. They understand the sea, love it, and respect every fish caught. Each voyage is an adventure, a journey with unpredictable results. Some days, they return with holds full of fresh groupers. Other days, they come back empty-handed. Yet they never give up, because as long as the sea breeze blows and the sun rises over the horizon, the quest for giant groupers will continue. Just like the long fishing lines they cast into the ocean daily, after many days adrift hunting groupers, the boat sets off on a new adventure. This time, the fisherman's target is a different fish. Faster, stronger, and even more valuable, the giant bluefin tuna. Bluefin tuna can grow over 3 meters long and weigh more than 500 kilograms, the dream catch for many in the fishing industry. Catching them requires not only experience, but also courage and a bit of luck. On deck, the sun-tanned captain watches the fish finder radar intently. Today, the sea is relatively calm, but the tension is like a tightly wound string. Hunting bluefin tuna is no easy task. They swim fast, often in schools, and are extremely clever. One small mistake in setting the lines, baiting, or reeling in can make these prized fish vanish in an instant. The typical method for bluefin tuna fishing uses long lines, main lines that can stretch for tens of kilometers, hanging thousands of hooks. Bait usually consists of mackerel, herring, or fresh squid, tuna's favorite meals. The process of setting the long line happens quietly. Sections of the line are carefully released from the stern, bait securely attached, and buoys deployed to mark the locations. The entire vessel operates like a well-oiled machine, with everyone clear on their role. Tuna fishing is not just a test of physical strength, but also an art of calculation. Timing is crucial, usually at dawn or dusk, and predicting underwater currents where tuna tend to gather and hunt. Only seasoned fishermen, with decades of experience at sea, can truly read the language of the ocean. When a tuna bites, everything happens in an instant. The line tightens like a drawn bowstring, and the reel's motor roars loudly as the fish fights desperately. But this is only the beginning. Bluefin tuna are incredibly strong, with powerful muscles, capable of swimming up to 70 kilometers per hour. Once hooked, they often dive hundreds of meters deep, circling the line to try to escape. If not handled skillfully, the line can snap from friction or get tangled. The reel operator must work in perfect sync with the line handler, carefully reeling in and letting out line to maintain proper tension. The line handler constantly watches the water's surface for signs the fish is coming up. Every meter pulled is a battle, sometimes lasting 2 to 3 hours before the fish is brought to the surface. Finally, the giant form appears beneath the waves. Big, round eyes, a sleek, elongated body, shimmering silver and blue skin glistening in the sunlight, like a living gem. It's a mature bluefin tuna, estimated to weigh nearly 400 kilograms. The entire crew erupts in cheers, but there is no time to waste. They quickly secure the fish with specialized hooks and splash cold water over its body to prevent the core temperature from rising too fast. A crucial step to preserve the quality of the meat. Unlike many other fish, tuna are extremely sensitive to temperature. If not chilled promptly, the flesh discolors, becomes mushy, and loses its value. Therefore, as soon as the tuna is hauled aboard, it is either stored in a deep freezer or immediately processed using ikejime, a traditional Japanese technique to keep the fish meat in optimal condition. Bluefin tuna are regarded as the kings of the ocean. At auctions in Japan, some specimens fetch prices in the millions of dollars. Their bright red, fatty meat, especially from the belly, is highly prized by sushi chefs. More than just food, bluefin tuna symbolize refinement and prestige in Japanese cuisine. For bluefin tuna fishermen, every voyage is a gamble with nature. Some weeks pass without a single catch, or the fish hauled in is only half left after a shark attack. But sometimes, luck smiles. One morning, the crew might catch 4 or 5 giant tunas, the kind of joy they remember for a lifetime. On board, they tell stories of a young fisherman who battled for 5 hours to reel in a nearly 500-kilogram tuna. Despite blistered hands, drenched in sweat, and aching back, he never gave up. When the fish finally broke the surface, the entire boat fell silent, with only the pounding of his heart filling the air. It's a moment every seafarer dreams of experiencing at least once. Fishermen not only need strength, but must also understand maritime laws and environmental protection regulations. Since bluefin tuna are a regulated species, every catch must be meticulously recorded. Time, location, size, weight, and tracking codes if applicable. These strict rules help ensure sustainable fishing practices and prevent the depletion of this precious resource. Every successful trip brings home more than just fish. It carries countless stories, emotions, and valuable lessons. The ocean teaches patience, humility, and a fearless dedication to the craft. Despite the rain and wind, these fishermen remain steadfast as they head out to sea, bringing back giant tuna as gifts from the ocean. When the boat returns, the cold storage is packed full of tuna, and the sun-weathered faces of the crew glow with joy. Though exhausted, their hearts are filled with relief. Another tuna hunting season has passed, marking an unforgettable milestone in the journey of these giant tuna hunters on the vast ocean. After the conquest of grouper and tuna, the ocean presents an even greater challenge. A fish known as the warrior of the sea, the swordfish. Powerful, wild, and mysterious, the swordfish is equipped with a long, sharp bill like a blade, a body full of strength, and is among the fastest, strongest, and most dangerous predators ever recorded. It has become the new target for courageous fishermen. The captain steps into the wheelhouse, opens a satellite map, and points to a deep water area over 100 nautical miles offshore, where warm and cold currents converge, creating an ideal hunting ground for swordfish. There, bait fish thrive. And where bait fish are abundant, so too are the ocean's predators. Unlike tuna, which travel in schools, swordfish usually operate alone. They don't rely on others to hunt, using their sharp bills to easily pierce prey. Because of this, locating them is a true challenge. Fishermen must combine traditional experience with modern technology such as sonar, depth finders, and water temperature sensors to narrow down possible swordfish zones. On board, special fishing lines are prepared. Not ordinary lines, but extremely durable ones made from tightly woven synthetic cores, hundreds of meters long. Equipped with ultra-strong hooks and fresh live bait. Swordfish bait is often large squid or mackerel, securely tied to the hook so it maintains a lifelike appearance when lowered into the water. The hunt continues.